Morning, everybody. Appreciate you guys coming. Obviously, excited to enter another game week and going up against a great Kansas State team. Trying to build off of some of the things that happened over the past couple weeks. Some areas that we know we are improving in, some areas we have to improve in. Proud of our kids' effort on Saturday. Proud of their commitment to getting better. Offensively, I thought we were much more efficient, significantly more efficient on third down. Have to continue to find a way to try to run the football. That's not been our strong point. We won't be a great team until we can run the football, much like Oklahoma did against us. And then defensively, we have to continue to eliminate the big plays. I think they had 10 plays for 490 yards, and then the other, 60 plays, we played pretty good defense. So trying to eliminate those big plays, and really at the end of the day, the most disappointing thing for us, I think, was just our inability to match their physicality in the fourth quarter. So that's a challenge for us, and couldn't come at a better time than facing a Kansas State team that's going to line up and come right at you, and we're going to have to become a much more grown-up physical team quickly to have a chance against them. In terms of injuries, Xavier Jones, I won't get into the details because I'm still waiting on doctors to tell me exactly what everything is, but it looks like he's out for an extended period of time, probably the whole year. Broke a bone in his foot amongst some other things, or in his leg. And it looks like Chris Platt is out for the year with the knee. We're waiting on some doctors to tell us exactly. So those guys have been tremendously loyal to us, been great players for us. We're anxious to get them back for their senior year next year. But as it is right now, it looks like they will be out for the season unless something changes. Maurice Porter, right now would be, if we were in the NFL, would be probable right now to play on Saturday. I think he should be able to go. Thought Josh Malin got in the game and played admirably, and Josh is continuing to get better. And so, if Mo can't go, we'll play with Josh. So with that, I'll see what questions you guys have.
John Warner, Waco Trib. Obviously, Chris is a huge loss. How do you make up for that?
Well, I thought Denzel rose to the occasion last game. I think Tony Nicholson rose to the occasion, and Pooh Strickland will step into that spot. And I thought Pooh played really well on Saturday. So I don't know that you can replace Chris's big-time, big play capabilities, but that's where we are. So we're going to have to rely on Pooh, rely on Jared Atkinson, some other guys that have been waiting their turn, got in a little bit on Saturday, and now they're going to have to step up in an effort to make up for Chris's production.
Can you just talk a little bit more about Mims, just the breakout game he had, and maybe his potential?
Yeah, he's made a bunch of big plays so far this year, but this is the first time we saw him go up and make receiver plays. That first third down or whatever it was, where he jumped up and just went up and attacked the football. He has so much talent and so much potential, and he's working at it. But it was the first time you saw some confidence where, I can do this, and the plays down the sideline, even the last touchdown catch. He became a guy we said, hey, this is a matchup for us that, we didn't feel like they could cover him, and he didn't feel like they could cover him. And so that was really good for the quarterback to know, hey, if I have one-on-one, I'm going to go over there to Denzel, and he's going to make the play.
Matt, the offensive line seemed like it played maybe its best game of the year. Was that a glimpse of their potential?
Yeah, I was sitting there on the way over. I was saying to myself, that was the 4 games, 4 different starting offensive line combinations. And then quickly, bang, Mo goes down and you're on your 5th. So I think they're getting better. We just weren't able to run the football. We weren't able to match Oklahoma's physicality in terms of running the football. And really a lot, not even physicality, just some mistakes here and there. But I like the direction. I like the way they're moving. I like the way they're getting better. We protected better. The biggest thing is we didn't have the stupid, penalties that resulted in us being 3rd and 10, 3rd and 12, 3rd and 15. But I think you look out there and see that O-line. You're playing Oklahoma, and you got Malin, you got Newman, you got Tech. None of those 3 guys were playing offensive line for us even in the spring. And then on the right side, Blackmar and Pat, who've played a lot of football, but they're all back next year. They're all getting better. They're all working. So I was pleased with the development that they're making. We just have to find a way to run the ball. And when you watch Kansas State, this is as physical and rugged. You hear the word rugged. This is a rugged defense. And so we're going to have to take another huge step to be able to match their physicality.
How did Xavier Newman hold up? And what did you maybe see from him when he first came in, or even in recruiting?
Well, I think the thing about Xavier is he's just a really competitive person. He's he wants to be physical. He wants to get the last shove. He has that demeanor, that personality that you're looking for on the offensive line. And so I think, I thought he went in there and he made some mistakes. He made some good plays. And so he'll only get better from there. And, but it's, it's a good place to start from. And it's a good, he started, his base is good. So we just have to continue to, develop him as we move forward.
Could he be a center down the road, or?
Yeah, he's got the capability to, kind of like Tecklenburg to play. He even gets reps there sometimes for us, play guard, play center. So, he's not 6'4", so, normally when he goes to play in the NFL someday, he'll probably play at center. But he's got an explosiveness, and the main thing is his demeanor. He's got a tough guy demeanor, which you like to have up front.
What was the area of improvement you were most pleased with Saturday?
The receivers, and third down on offense. On defense, we continue to be excellent on third down. I think we had them like 4 of 10 or something like that. Not excellent, but pretty good. But I was really pleased with the receivers, going up and catching the football, getting open, making plays down the field. Even Tony in the return game. So I think just their commitment to being dynamic was what we were looking for earlier, and it finally came through. And now the challenge to them is, do they relax or do they take it to another level? And we're hoping that they take, especially with Chris being out, take it to another level as a core.
Do you have to walk maybe a little bit of a balance with this team needing some positive momentum and going toe-to-toe with the number 3 team in the country, but, a loss is still a loss?
Yeah, that's why I treat wins and losses the same. There's truth behind all of it. And so there's some things we got better at. There's some things we got a lot worse at. We're not tackling on defense. If we tackle, we might have won the football game. And so I can tell you this, the coaches on defense and the players on defense are not walking around feeling like, hey, we went toe-to-toe, and feeling like, hey, you know what? We are guys, we're either guys making a decision not to kind of do their job or getting out physical away from winning the football game. And the offensive line can't be happy right now rushing the ball for 60 yards, and the backs can't be. So I think the way we try to, I say the word process, people come, what are you saying? I say just every day looking at what you're doing right, what you're doing wrong, and trying to get better at it. And so, we have not played to our capabilities yet, and we won't all year. We'll continue to get better and better and better, but there's always something else out there we can get. And so I want them to feel good about, not that, and it has nothing to do with Oklahoma. Like, we played a little bit better on offense. We didn't play better on defense. We played better against Duke than we did against Oklahoma. So we just have to keep pushing ourselves forward. And when we win, I'll still be the same way. I'll say, hey, we're still not doing this right. We're doing this better. And just trying to keep moving the team forward.
Would you have been disappointed had they gone in the locker room that had been happy after a loss because they played well in a loss?
Yeah, I would have been. Yeah, but they weren't. They were beat up and torn up. And, the biggest thing is, when you lose is, how many times can you keep getting up off the mat, and coming back the next week and rededicating yourself to that week of trying to win that week. And that's what, that's what I'm proud of these guys about. Like, that was, they got down early and they just fought. They got down, got up against Duke and got down and kept fighting. So that's all I want to see from them is each week just a complete and total commitment to this week trying to beat Kansas State and doing everything possible each and every day to beat Kansas State, and then go to the bye week, and then we'll come out and we'll do that for our next opponent. So that's to me is how, when you start, right now we're in this phase. When we get on to the phase where we're in a run and we win a game, then 2 games, then 3 games, and 4 games, that commitment to each and every week, the details of the week, that's what allows you, to me, to win long term.
Coach, Terrence Williams got a few carries. What did you see from him? How did he come out of the game? What do you see coming up from him?
Yeah, I think he's pretty healthy. I mean, he should be ready to go this week. And he got some carries. It kind of became a passing game, which really isn't where we want to utilize him. And we're hopeful that we can run the football and kind of get him going this week. And so I thought it was a good first step, introduction back into playing. And now hopefully we can amplify his carries and his production this week.
Blake Lynch maybe moving back to offense with Platt being out and some of the defensive backs back now.
Yeah, I would love to. I just think he's playing too well over there. We're really, at the end of the day, they hit one deep ball and a tip ball down the sidelines, and that I thought our corners when we played man held up really well. Our safeties had a harder time, but our corners held up pretty well. So I think we could maybe use a package with Blake here at some point, but I think really we're Blake, Harrison, Hand, and Graylin coming back. That's what's given us a chance to win is the fact that they're covering at a high level.
And preparing for K-State, is that a little different than most teams you'll face?
Well, I just think the commitment to the quarterback runs. One of the reasons why we like having in our offense even if we don't use it a ton, the I formation, all that is our kids are used to seeing downhill physical football all the time, so they're prepared for it. So they present challenges. The biggest thing is not what they do; it's just kind of how they do it. I mean, they are just physical, and they're going to run you over and knock you down and run you over and challenge your eyes, and you get out of your gap or you do your own thing, and the quarterback pulls the ball and runs. And so they just challenge you with their physicality and with their attention to detail. And so I don't know if it's as much for us scheme, though it is a difficult scheme, as it is. Are we gonna go out there and not get pushed around? Are we gonna go out there and, especially in the fourth quarter, not get pushed around in the fourth quarter? And so that's what these guys, they want it to be a fourth quarter game. They're exactly the type of team that I love to watch. And they're going to throw body blows, and say in the fourth quarter that you're gonna flinch before they do. And so our team knows that going in, and our team knows that we just, we've had the ball with a chance to win in every game in the fourth quarter, and we haven't come through yet. And we know that this is exactly the type of team that they are. So we have got to get just a little bit tougher, a little bit more attention to detail this week, a little bit better, and hope that that'll be enough, especially with them coming off a bye.
Can you speak to the opportunity to go up against a guy like Bill Snyder in a stadium that's named for him?
That's a lot to think about right there now. Well, I still have like some of my first coaching books from 20 years ago, and there's chapters written by him. So I just have I've always had a respect and a reverence for the gentleman coaches, that came before us. I mean, the guys that do it right. I mean, to see Coach Grove at the game on Saturday, that's the kind of coach that I respect, and guys who coach the game right, play the game right. And I was up at ESPN, and Coach Snyder pulled me aside and put his arm around me and said a few words to me. And that's, we're going to compete against each other, but really at the end of the day, having a chance to compete against Coach Snyder makes me better, and makes me look at myself and how I do what I do. And so I think it's exactly the way he runs this program is exactly the way I want to run this program and any program associated with, doing things the right way, on and off the field, and the way they play. And so it'll be an honor to be out there with him, and look forward to shaking his hand before and after the game.
With some of the quarterbacks you face, and I was thinking about Daniel Jones and the way you were able to contain him, does that prepare you maybe a little bit for Jesse Ertz, or does that help?
Well, yeah, we've prepared for two, running quarterbacks the last 2 weeks, and so that's a different style of running. But we've had to prepare for, Baker last week and Daniel Jones the week before, and I think we've done a pretty decent job. This is much more of a different, this is much more of a power, zone read, power run game with the quarterback, and he can throw it just as well. So, we really have to hold up. But, this is one of the things that we're doing right now in defense is it's sort of like my bad, I'm supposed to be in that gap, but I'm not. And when you face really good teams, they hurt you for 99 yards. And so this is another team like that where if the guy who has the quarterback doesn't play the quarterback, he's out. And so we have to maintain our aggressiveness while also having tremendous attention to detail, because if not, they'll hurt you.
On each of the long runs, or big plays, can you see one thing, two things that didn't go wrong that, and I asked you after the game the other day if it's fixable. Obviously it is fixable, but can you see stuff where you can go, all we got to do is our job?
Yeah, there's really two things that are happening. Number one, someone just doesn't do what they're supposed to do, and then the second thing is when the ball gets in the secondary, safeties have to get it down. We got to tackle it. And on a lot of those long runs, there's guys that have a chance to make the play, and we're just kind of not making the play, not getting the ball down, not pushing them out of bounds. They're tight roping down the sideline. I think our guys think he's out of bounds. They slow down, and next thing you know, it goes for 40. So. They threw a great go ball to their tight end. They got the ball down to the 4-yard line, and we jumped up over our safety. I can live with that all day. I mean, if the kid makes a play, a kid makes a play. But it's just more our attention to detail and understanding how we fit into the overall defensive scheme. And then at the end of the day, getting the ball down. When the play pops, go tackle it. And, 2 games now in a row where they've had long runs where, they made a guy miss and ran. And so we just have to become a little bit better of a tackling team this week than we were last week.
What did you see from Connor Martin that gave you confidence to put him out there for 40-plus yard field goals?
I just said to myself, because he had missed the extra point the game before, and they missed that first field goal. And I just said to myself, if I don't put him out here now, then I'll never put him out there. And so, we put him out there and he nailed it, and he did it with confidence. And so, it's like my golf game. I hear Saravo say to him, Mike say to him, hey, just kick it like a PAT when it's from that far out. And I thought he went out and he nailed it, and he's getting some recognition this week, which is nice. And but you know what? I mean, like we practice it. He makes them in practice, so We play a team like that, you sort of like, if we're supposed to kick it, kick it. If it goes, it's either going to go through the uprights or it's not. And, he came through in a big way for us.
Going back to Platt, will he need surgery or?
I don't know the details of that yet. I'll go wait for the doctors. Appreciate you guys.